You're live.
I'm alive. You're alive.
Yeah. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay. So the theme for this live was rainbows in honor of Pride Month being over shortly. It's been 10 weeks since our last live.
The fire next time. Yeah.
Okay. The selections were Black Rainbow, The Serpent and the Rainbow, Finian's Rainbow, Under the Rainbow, and Alma's Rainbow. Obviously, The Serpent and the Rainbow won by over half the votes. But what inspired this theme was we watched the trailer for Under the Rainbow, which, if people don't know, is a movie about the little people who starred in The Wizard of Oz and them all living in a hotel
in Culver City.
And the trailer is insane.
Oh, yeah. It is not politically correct for sure. And Carrie Fisher, before she died, I think, said it was the worst thing she ever did.
So I was very excited to watch that. And I think I naively assumed people would want to watch that movie. But I didn't realize The Serpent and the Rainbow was more notable.
Oh, okay. I've seen that. And I love Black Rainbow with Rosanna Arquette and Jason Robards. I think that's a fantastic film from Mike Hodges. I voted for Alma's Rainbow because I've never seen it.
So I'll need to make Under the Rainbow a secret movie. But we reviewed the what year is this movie?
88.
The 1988 film, The Serpent and the Rainbow. What is it about? An anthropologist goes to Haiti after hearing rumors about a drug used by black magic practitioners to turn people into zombies. What did you think of this film?
I haven't watched it since I was a kid with my dad. I remember watching it on TNT or TBS with my dad, who didn't quite love it, but it had an effect on me as a kid. I think a lot of it, especially with the white character played by Bill Pullman, seems kind of silly, especially the end, and we'll get there. But it has a mood, and I think it's probably the second best film directed by Wes Craven during the 80s, which despite the juggernaut that was A Nightmare on Elm Street, I don't like most of his 80s films. And this is between Deadly Friend with Christy Swanson, I believe, and Shocker with Peter Berg, which I really loathe Shocker. So this is kind of, I don't love Serpent and the Rainbow, but it's decent.
Decent. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I agree. I think if you extract Bill Pullman and his little love interest, I think there's much better content there.
I agree. Cathy Tyson, who is in a fantastic early Neil Jordan film called Mona Lisa with Bob Hoskins, which if you haven't seen that, I highly recommend it. But I don't think this film does her any favors.
Okay, the story is kind of simple. Bill Pullman plays an anthropologist from Harvard who is plucked to go to Haiti to get a sample of some drug that is suspected of creating zombies. The film opens 7 years prior, and we see someone being administered some sort of drug, and then it simulates them being dead. So they have no vitals, but clearly the person is conscious and aware. That person's buried alive, and we see a single tear fall. Then we fast forward 7 years to Haiti. Well, actually, no, we're in a Spanish-speaking country where Bill Pullman is. But anyway, I thought the opening was really strong. But Bill Pullman gets to Haiti. He meets with this lady doctor played by
Cathy Tyson.
She's the doctor who verified, like, yes, there was this person who medically died and then reappeared. Like I've read the records, I've examined him, it's him. So they find a black magic practitioner who also runs a bar. They get this person to recreate that drug, which is in powder form. Bill Pullman gets it back to Harvard by the skin of his teeth, which we'll get to. And their research shows that, yes, it does do some interesting things. But there's a person in Haiti played by Zakes
Mokae. Mm-hmm.
He's like this dictator / voodoo doctor who is trying to maintain that intellectual property. So he threatens Bill Pullman. specifically in one scene that's pretty graphic, which we'll get to. But the way the film shows it, is able to, well, the way the film's showing it, black magic is real. So this voodoo doctor dictator is able to play with Bill Pullman's mind. But what does Bill Pullman's dumbass decide to do? Go back to Haiti.
Well, he's worried about Cathy Dennis. Or Cathy Tyson.
Cathy Dennis is the lady who wrote Toxic for Britney Spears.
Yeah.
And she has her own hits. But anyway, Bill Pullman takes his dumbass to Haiti and he gets scooped up immediately. And unfortunately, when he first got to Haiti, there was a gentleman played by Paul Winfield who was assisting him. Mm-hmm. And the minute Bill Pullman comes back, Paul Winfield gets killed. Bill Pullman gets scooped up by...
He does, but Paul Winfield rescues him at the airport.
He does.
Yeah.
And then the final act of the film is basically a showdown between Zakes, the dictator voodoo doctor, and Bill Pullman.
Dargent, Peytraud.
And it's a battle of wills. But we see that the witch doctor guy, he is trapping people's souls in like Smucker's jars. Mm-hmm. So Bill Pullman's little lady friend is able to break his soul out of the Smucker's jar. So that's how Bill Pullman defeats the bad guy. The end of the movie felt like Nightmare on Elm Street to me, mm-hmm. which really diminished the strength of the first hour of the film.
We need the Beyonce Break My Soul cut.
So I think the cinematography is beautiful. I think everything related to the Haitian culture of like these practices and the ceremonies. There's one ceremony in particular where there are a lot of candles, and it's an extended sequence because it goes from day to night, mm-hmm. and we see all the people sleeping. I thought that was beautiful.
Well, the mixture of Catholicism and voodoo in this country, they mentioned that, but I think that could have been explored much more effectively.
I feel like we could have ended the film when Bill Pullman gets back to Harvard and they do the research and use that extra time to delve into, Catholicism and voodoo and just everything Haitian was better to me than Bill Pullman and that lady he's running around with, who seems helpless.
She does. She just seems like she has nothing to do. I'm curious. I have not read the book, but by the ethnobotanist, is his name Wade Davis, who apparently sold the film rights, agreeing that if it was going to be made into film, it would have to be directed by Peter Weir, starring Mel Gibson.
Neither of whom were interested. So we're told in the beginning is based on a true story. I was trying to research the true story, and it seems like there are conflicting accounts, but it would seem that there was this practice of ceremonial burials where people were made to mimic being dead and then resuscitated, or because the accounts of the person who the book is based on, his name is Clarvius Narcisse, mm-hmm. I believe. They believe that the toxins he was administered, which I think are from like a pufferfish and a bullfrog or something, mimicked, like sedated him, but he was still conscious. And then there was like a psychoactive component to it. And then being buried alive and being oxygen deprived caused them brain damage. So when they were unearthed, they seemed like zombies. But then I was also reading that people don't believe that they think that they were administered these drugs, were given like a ceremonial burial, but weren't actually put under the ground for days. And then when they were awakened, they were given a drug that kept them in like a trance-like state, basically like high all the time. And then those people were used as slaves, like slave labor. I think all of that is infinitely more interesting than watching Bill Pullman's ass run around.
I agree.
So I think, I could see this movie being remade. I also read that the original cut's longer.
3 hours.
So I wonder if the original cut does contain more of the bits I wanted.
Perhaps.
But I am glad I watched this movie because I had never heard of it.
What, really? Yeah, I haven't thought of it in forever, but I think it'd make a great double bill with Jacques Tourneur's "I Walked with a Zombie," which is a kind of a 40s genre rehash of Jane Eyre, but it's a lot of zombie fun.
The tagline, the poster, one of the posters I saw is of the image of the snake coming out of the zombie bride and grabbing Bill Pullman. I think that looks so cool. The tagline you gave me for the film is "Don't bury me, I'm not dead." That's pretty good.
Which sounds like a Lifetime movie. I think it looks really great. It was shot by John Lindley, who did Pleasantville.
The opening of the film explains the title. It says, "In the legends of voodoo, the serpent is a symbol of earth. The rainbow is a symbol of heaven. Between the two, all creatures must live and die. But because he has a soul, man can be trapped in a terrible place where death is only the beginning." Yeah, I think the story is really haunting and creepy. And I think voodoo's creepy, even if you don't believe in it. Like the fact that people do is scary.
The Gough dust.
Shout out to Erica Alexander. I don't know why I said Amanda Seals. Someone needs to spray some Gough dust on her.
Ooh.
But yeah, I think it's a really interesting story that also Bill Pullman. Every time I looked at him, he reminded me of so many people. I wrote down that he looks like if you mix Jim Carrey with Holly Hunter.
He's got those little Holly Hunter lips.
And made him a Skarsgård. But then I also thought he reminded me of a young Meryl Streep. He also reminded me of Mackenzie Davis. He's so generic to me that he reminded me of all the white people.
Anytime that somebody is
all
like
the pointy-faced white people.
A bland white template, you bring up Mackenzie Davis. But my mom used to like Bill Pullman. But I remember watching Spaceballs with her, and she'd be like, "Oh, you really can't act." He was young. He was learning his craft. It's funny how much his son looks like him, though.
Yeah, yeah. Genetics are crazy.
Yeah, it's creepy.
And then the doctor lady,
Cathy.
She reminded
Tyson.
me of if you mix Tandiwi Newton and Celine Dion. I didn't care for her. I think her casting was interesting.
I think she had nothing to do is the problem.
It's like they needed a beautiful brown woman to be this Haitian doctor, but she had no flavor, Paul Winfield could have led the movie with, say his name?
Zakes Mokae, who's a Tony Award winner. If Zakes Mokae is playing this character named Big Cathy, kind of a brothel madam in A Rage in Harlem from 1991.
Is he supposed to be a trans woman?
He's on his own little spectrum. From what I remember in that movie, but he was a fascinating actor.
Say his name again.
Zakes Mokae.
I thought he reminded me of Cheryl Underwood.
He reminds me of Michael Rooker a little bit as well. But I think, and Paul Winfield is really underserved in this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and then because the theme was rainbows to round out the end of Pride Month, there is an active homosexual in this movie. Paul Winfield.
Yeah, I was trying to look at pictures of his white husband.
Yeah.
I think I found some.
But when we start seeing in the beginning the doctors pronouncing people dead, my first thought was maybe y'all are pronouncing people dead too quickly. Like maybe that's what's happening. They're just feeling rushed to do something.
Put them in the ground.
Oh gosh. So when Bill Pullman goes with the lady doctor to go like sit at some restaurant.
Do you keep calling her the lady doctor?
I don't remember her name.
Well, the actor's name is Cathy Tyson, and her character name is Marielle Duchamp.
Oh, that's going to be hard. Dr. Duchamp?
Lady doctor sounds so patronizing.
Sorry. Dr. Duchamp. When Bill Pullman and Dr. Duchamp they go out one evening and with Paul Winfield's character, and that's where they meet Zokae. And then it's explained to them like they don't meet him, but they see him sitting across the restaurant. And it's explained that he's like, that Haiti's corrupt and he's kind of like this unofficial dictator, but he's also like a very powerful witch doctor. And then we get like some people performing, which I thought was interesting because we see people like eating glass and putting needles through their skin. And
one of whom is Bill Pullman's wife.
Someone eats like the ember from like a lit cigar. I thought that all looked really cool. And you said one of the ladies in the crowd was whose wife?
Bill Pullman's.
That was his wife?
Mm-hmm. The white lady putting the needle into that guy.
Oh, that's right. Mm-hmm. But anyways, he starts doing voodoo, something like he does something from like Get Out where he taps the glass and the performers start going crazy. And one of them is like assaulting people. So Bill Pullman grabs a glass bottle and breaks it over the guy's head. And then Paul Winfield takes he covers the man's head like a parrot. And
like a bird, yeah.
But anyway, that scene was crazy to me because after Bill Pullman hits that man, all the white people in the restaurant stand up and start clapping. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I thought that was weird. The man who's supposed to represent the example of someone being zombified, his name is Christophe.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that actor was a little crunchy.
Well, his experience,
I know he's supposed to be a zombie, but
the experience that he's exemplifying is a unique one.
Okay, the bartender who's also like a black arts practitioner who sells Bill Pullman the powder.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Initially, he sells it to him for $400.
Louis Mozart.
Or $500, whatever, half of what he was asking for. And it's obvious that this guy's a fake, and he puts powder in something and makes a poor little baby goat die. But Bill Pullman carves a symbol into the goat's hoof to verify if the next day this goat comes back to life, it's the same goat, which it's not. But first thing I thought was funny is that his little black magic den with all of his Eye of Newt and frog, whatever, they still had a picture of MLK hanging on the wall.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was funny to
Some
me.
dried old bats and pufferfish.
Oh, but that poor little goat.
Yeah.
I wonder how they did that.
Maybe a sedative.
Oh, gosh. So then we get the ceremony where everyone is going from the church to this temple on the hill, and then they all fall asleep at night. There are candles everywhere, lit candles. How did they not burn everything down?
I don't know. Smokey Bear would have had a heart attack.
It was beautiful, though.
No.
And then so that visual was amazing. And then we see everyone asleep. That was really creepy. And then I was waiting for a snake to show up somewhere. And sure enough, there's this big python looking thing crawling on Bill Pullman. He wakes up afraid. And then we see Christophe, the zombie man, with this bride.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like a creature. And I think the coolest scene in the film is that bride confronts Bill Pullman and pries her mouth open, and that snake juts out and grabs Bill Pullman in the neck. That looked really good.
It looked really good. And what's his hallucination with the jaguar? If this were remade, you'd probably using the actual animals, but I thought that looked really good.
Yeah. So the dictator voodoo doctor snatches Bill Pullman up after he is told that Bill Pullman's out here trying to find that powder, that drug. And so he gets Bill Pullman naked, straps him to an electric chair, and takes a big railroad tie and pierces it through his scrotum. That was pretty extreme.
Yeah, apparently didn't hit a testicle. So there you go.
So he gets picked up again because we see that another really cool moment is when Bill Pullman goes back to the bartender and basically says, I know your shit is not real. That's when the guy, and he confronts him in front of everyone. That's when the guy goes, okay, if you really want to do it, it's going to be $1,000 for real, and you have to help me do it.
He's like, you have to help me make it.
And then it's this 3-day process. I thought that scene was actually kind of fun because they're doing all this craziness and decayed bodies and cracking skulls. And then when it's all said and done, he's like, oh, well, now we got to let it rest in the grave for a day. But it's during that extra 24 hours where the dictator's henchmen come snatch Bill Pullman and his lady up. And the way they bust through his hut was 10 Kool-Aid men. They literally broke down the walls of this hut. I thought that was pretty ridiculous.
And there's a bunch of people getting on that flight, and they shove him on there with a gun to his head.
Oh, that cop who shoves him on the plane has these weird sideburns.
Yeah,
that cop was doing a little bit too much.
He was a very imposing figure, though. But nobody else on this plane is alarmed.
That's what I was thinking. This is a Pan Am flight. Where?
I mean, at the time this was filmed, Haiti was going through some turmoil because they couldn't even finish filming there. But even when Bill Pullman comes back to Haiti and gets off the plane and he gets snatched And all these other people deplaning are just like, well, we're in Haiti.
And then when Bill Pullman's on the plane, it's about to take off. Guess who pops up? The bartender. And he's like, don't forget your powder. Where's my $1,000? Well, I don't have it. Okay, well, here, you can take it anyway, but you make sure that everyone will know my name, which of course made me think of the show Fame.
Sure.
Like, remember my name. And then he takes Bill Pullman's watch. I really did think that the movie could have just been the bartender and Paul Winfield.
And it could have been creepier.
Like, why couldn't Paul Winfield have been a
More
scientist trying to get this stuff to help people? So first, Bill Pullman gets back to Harvard, they research it, and the pharmaceutical company's all excited, and they're already trying to come up with names for the drug, and one of the names is Zombinol. That's so stupid.
Oh, who's that? Paul Guilfoyle, who I thought was really repellent.
But they're at a dinner, and this lady, Deborah, she's someone's wife.
She's Guilfoyle's wife.
The Zakes Mokae's character basically possesses her. And she starts chewing on glass and having a seizure. She cuts
Bill Pullman. She's on the table, and they're like, oh, it's going to be okay.
And her husband's like, oh, it's okay. No, it's not. That lady stabbed me in the face. We have a problem.
Oh, and the other old white man there who has nothing to do in this movie is Michael Gough.
He has nothing to do but look alarmed.
Mm-hmm.
So then Bill Pullman's like, I got to go back to Haiti and save Dr. Duchamp. And that old man's like, I do not recommend you do that. And what's the next scene? Him getting off the plane and immediately getting scooped up by the cops. But we see that that's like a trick by Paul Winfield to get Bill Pullman to safety. But it doesn't work because as soon as they get him to safety, Paul Winfield gets killed. And we see like a scorpion come out of his mouth.
And then there's a scene where Winfield's corpse is possessed by...
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Peytraud, and Paul Winfield pulls his head off and it's smoking.
Yeah, I think that final scene with them, like Bill Pullman and Zakes Mokae battling, it really felt like the studio said, we need like Nightmare on Elm Street. Because even the VFX were kind of like...
It's like this battle of wills that's almost existential. And it's like, I don't know if this works as a thriller in that moment. But I think also Craven was, because he didn't have the rights to Nightmare on Elm Street, that's why he did Shocker, because he was trying to recreate that moment that was taken from him, that franchise.
Overall, though, I did think the movie was pretty good. It does have a lot of creepy moments. I could see it being remade for sure. What would you give The Serpent and the Rainbow?
2.5.
I would give it 2.5 out of 5. Okay. People love this movie. I'm glad they do. The first time I saw it, I was offended. Then I watched it again after Cursed Films talked about it and realized how authentic the film truly was. Taking, because it almost feels like they're exploiting cultures in films like this.
Yeah, but Craven's treating it with a certain sense of gravity, a seriousness that I think kind of sidesteps that a little bit. I think Craven, especially with People Under the Stairs, was interested in perspectives that were not just white, really. Which was a rarity then in Hollywood,
and the Haitian culture and the idea of voodoo, I think, was taken seriously. Like it wasn't a joke,
right?
So that was good. Other Wes Craven films I know are Shocker, People Under the Stairs.
Mm-hmm.
What else?
I made you watch Curse with Christina Ricci, the werewolf film. You've not seen Swamp Thing? Last House on the Left, The Hills Have Eyes, Red Eye.
I admit I don't know anybody in my real life who has dwarfism. I'm like, why did you say that? But because we talked about Under the Rainbow. I met a few little people in my day. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm Joe, the guy you met outside a screening of I Saw the TV Glow. Where did we see I Saw the TV Glow?
The Grove.
Do you remember Joe?
Yes. Hello.
I remember Joe too.
Ooh, I don't know.
No, I do. I do. We were in the hallway of a theater. No, I think I do remember. Well, you couldn't have been that awkward because it didn't. That's not the memory I have. No, I do remember. I remember having a visceral feeling after seeing this film as a kid. Yeah, I think had I seen this, you said 89?
88.
88. So I would have been 10. Yeah, this would have scared me for sure. And yeah, being buried alive is, I mean, even watching it yesterday, those moments are really creepy. This movie was a hit in the hood. Everybody knew the root lady or called them the workers. Well, then my family, my Mexican family, they believe in like Santeria and all that shit. So I'm sure if I would have watched this as a kid, my mom would have been she would have had very strong feelings about this.
Oh, I love Buried with Ryan Reynolds.
That's a good movie.
Rodrigo
Do you know the
Cortez.
Bill Pullman movie Malice?
Oh, yeah. With Alec Baldwin and Nicole
Oh,
Kidman.
that's an Alec Baldwin movie.
That's where Alec Baldwin has that great camp line about being God.
Oh.
I don't really like the plot mechanisms of that film for like a 90s neo-noir, but I like all of those people enough.
It's not a Smucker's jar. Well, because a mason jar is the kind that has that latch, right?
A mason jar doesn't have to have that.
How would you describe the jars he kept the souls in?
It looked like one of those things you buy in a craft store now that says "Souls of Dead Lovers" on it, and you put a craft cover.
Do you know what George Sluzer's Spurlos is?
Spurlos? The Vanishing. I made you watch The Vanishing.
What's that?
Where that guy and the girl are having an argument, the couple on a road trip, and he stops to get gas and she disappears. He never finds her again. You've seen it. I had a movie night.
That sounds like that Kurt Russell movie.
Breakdown. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Sluzer's film is a classic, but he remade it himself with Jeff Bridges, Kiefer Sutherland, Sandra Bullock, and Nancy Travis, which is not very good. But worth a look. I could rewatch that. I haven't seen that in years.
I know people are into like dark arts. You know a white witch.
I do.
Yeah.
And she said, don't tell anybody because all these other bitches here will go crazy. Like, okay.
The trailer for this film is creepy. Bill Skarsgård, which one is Pennywise?
Bill.
Oh, he is handsome, yeah. Who's in Lost Highway?
Bill Pullman.
Oh, I always get Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton mixed up. I did too when we started the movie.
Which is funny because after this, I watched a trailer for The Vagrant.
And Bill Paxton was in it, yeah. License to Kill. Have you seen that? An 80s movie set in fictional Central America?
No, I don't think I've seen that. Yeah, Lost Highway was a great David Lynch.
Zakes Mokae.
Like Mokae. Okay, Mokae.
Mokae.
He's a very interesting actor, yes. And he is South African, not Haitian.
Your favorite Wes Craven film is People Under the Stairs.
Yes, and I think it's being remade. I'm reading I'm reading a couple books right now, but one of them I'm reading piecemeal is The Black Guy Dies First, and talking about how that's in one regard, that is one of the few genre films, because the 80s, like black people in horror film in the 80s was there's very few examples, but from a white perspective, Wes Craven is trying hard. But if you really examine how the black characters are defined in that, there's some interesting choices made. So I think that could be remade. Feel like we're giving a moment of silence to somebody, but to me, that's my favorite.
Have I seen Red Eye?
I actually just rewatched that with Cillian Murphy and Rachel McAdams on the plane.
Oh, sure.
Excuse me.
Hello, you guys are the best. Just went to see A Quiet Place Day one. I couldn't stop crying. Oh, There are sweet moments.
Lupita is very good in that.
Oh, I saw a poll recently asking what's Wes Craven's best movie and best horror film, and there were 4 options. 2 of them I don't remember, but the other 2 were Halloween and The Thing.
Wasn't it about John Carpenter?
Oh wait, John Carpenter. Sorry, John Carpenter's best horror film. But I was trying to decide between The Thing and Halloween. You said The Thing.
Oh yeah.
I think The Thing is like more like an action horror film. Like, I think Halloween's a better, like it's creepier. But The Thing, I would say maybe is a better movie.
I love The Thing. I mean, the Thing is bleak. Bleak.
What do people think? Which one is a better horror film, The Thing or Halloween? Because when I think about the two, I've seen both multiple times. And of course, Kurt Russell and The Thing is fun. But if you ask me right now, if I had to watch one, I would pick Halloween. Because I think it's creepier.
Sure. My vote is The Thing, but
what's Killian's what's a Killian Murphy quote from Red Eye that's quotable?
oh, I don't remember. That's a deep dive. I don't remember that. I haven't seen The End of Violence in forever. I remember not loving it when I saw it, but that could be with Andy McDowell.
Was Shocker that bad?
I hated Shocker.
I don't remember.
Oh, Peter Berg.
What year is it?
89.
I remember watching it at my aunt Andrea's house as a young person, and then watching it with you, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? Maybe longer.
Like 2009.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we rented it from Hollywood Video. Yeah, I didn't like that.
I was about to suggest L, so I was confusing him with Paul Verhoeven.
Craven.
After this review, you'll go clean your kitchen inspired by yours. Well, Nick tidied up the kitchen before we... Look, I try to give you credit. You still have an attitude. If I didn't say it, you'd have an attitude.
Let the record
If
show.
I didn't say it, you would have said, I cleaned the kitchen.
I feel like...
And then I say it, and you get this look on your face.
I feel like Kathleen Turner and Serial Mom. You're mixed stole. You just go off. And I just let the court show that I... When she's going, fuck you.
Yeah, you are a lot like Kathleen Turner and Serial Mom.
I didn't say shit.
Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I said that. With Adrienne Barbeau. Swamp Thing's okay.
Can you rate Troop Beverly Hills? I'd have to rewatch it.
Didn't
we watch it with Bo?
No, I mean, he had it on.
Oh.
But...
I know I like that movie, but I don't remember it enough.
I like Larry Fessenden as well. He makes a small cameo. He makes a lot of cameos in the Maxine, the Ty West film.
Did you see Long Legs yet?
We see it on the 9th.
We see Long Legs on the 9th. And that sound is the cat. The sound that we paused for is the cat's feeder. Your thoughts on the American remake of the nail-biting Speak No Evil?
I've seen the trailer too many times. Speaking of, your friend Mackenzie Davis is in it. Speaking of white templates.
Although James McAvoy is also my friend, so that's the only reason I would go see it. But
the original drove me crazy.
Well, there's a podcast I listened to, and they reviewed the original a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So hearing them explain the film and then having, like you said, seen the trailer for the new one like 10 times, I'm not super excited about it. And the little kid doing that thing is so annoying to me. I don't know why. Bless his heart, but I do not like that.
It's a film that only works in certain cultures. Because it's about taking, politeness to the extreme and letting people abuse you. And I just don't. I would love to. I don't know. I want to see the Wayans brothers remake that because to me it's crazy. The original felt like Haneke light because Funny Games is a film that I can believe that these things are happening. Speak No Evil. I just couldn't. You'll see it. I don't know. I had a hard time. they make so many stupid choices that by the time like the shoe drops and shit hits the fan, you're like, well, you didn't try to protect yourself. I don't know what to tell you.
My best friend always asks my hermit sister, who decided to let you out from under the stairs? Oh, I do remember that movie.
Sometimes the only way out is in.
I like how Joseph says interesting the way Bugs Bunny does. I do use that word a lot. Can I pay you guys to watch Tree of Life? Ugh. It would require
Well,
I don't know that it would be my regular fee to rewatch that thing.
Really?
How long is it?
It's not that long. It's over 2 hours, I think. But I haven't watched it since Criterion put it out on Blu-ray, and before that was the theatrical experience where you left me there. But yeah, I don't know.
The time I advocated for myself that you won't let die. It's 2 hours, 19 minutes. Well, there is a Patreon option where you can pay us a monthly fee and we'll review one movie a month for you. So if that's what you want to do.
I think Tree of Life is fine. I think I wanted Melancholia to win a Cannes.
I don't know why someone would want me to suffer of all people. If you're familiar with my life and relationship, I feel like you would want to make things easier for me. But
you have a nice life.
Tree of Life.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we've committed ourselves to the Patreon option, so that could be a way. The Thing. Well, The Thing is very good. I think I gave it 4 out of 5. Didn't we do a live for The Thing?
We did.
Yeah. But we have not reviewed any Halloween. Well, no, we've reviewed the 3 new ones or the 2 new ones? 2 of the new.
The last 2. Halloween Kills and Ends. Were those the titles of those dumb things?
My Soul to Take. I don't recall that one.
That's okay. That's his Wes Craven's second to last.
What do you think of Running Scared with Paul Walker and Vera Farmiga?
His penultimate. With Vera Farmiga. Which film with Vera Farmiga?
Running Scared.
I've never seen that.
Oh.
Paul Walker. What is that, mid-2000s?
Is it Tamara or Tamara?
I think it could be either.
Thank you, Tamara. Thank y'all for the live.
Oh, I thought somebody was asking that.
No. I had an uncle who had a girlfriend named Tamara, and I really liked her, but they broke up.
Or you could be Tia and Tamara.
Or Tia and Tamara. Did we watch the Celine Dion documentary? No. I would, though. I enjoy the bickering. Did we go to the 25th anniversary release of the Blair Witch Project?
No.
No. I would have.
Yeah.
Let the record show in Nick's Felicia Rashad voice. I saw Kinds of Kindness and oh my, what a waste. I felt violated by how I paid to waste time.
I mean, that's breaking records at the specialty box office. So, I mean,
people love it.
Good for Yorgos. I mean, I like him as a filmmaker. I don't love that film, but again, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't for me.
Oh, glad to catch you live. Went into NYC yesterday for A Quiet Place Day 1. Sadly, my local Brooklyn movie theater closed.
Oh.
That is sad. Because these neighborhoods, like, I feel like we need to try harder to keep, like, some culture around. Obviously. But, you know, like, places are changing where it's just like, oh, put up a Whole Foods and some Starbucks and like an Amazon fulfillment center. And, well, like, because then every place is going to turn, like, it makes some places not as desirable. Like, why even live there?
Well, it makes everything generic.
Yeah, obviously. I have to drive an hour away to watch Kinds of Kindness here. Gosh, you're far away from it. You're that, because even where you grew up, there was a theater, and you're in the middle of nowhere.
No, I had to drive to
Virginia.
Often Virginia or Grand Rapids, but many times I remember having to drive to Duluth, Minnesota to see
but Virginia's
hours.
But Virginia's not that far though. It's not an hour.
It's like 45 minutes.
Oh,
It's not like do. And Duluth is a little longer, but yeah, I had to do that all the time. Rules of Attraction, the only drive to Twin Cities to see half this shit too.
would we consider reviewing this person's favorite movie of all time, Baghdad Cafe?
You know, I've never seen that.
With CCH Pounder?
Yeah.
Do you know, but you've heard of it?
Oh yeah, I can actually distinctly recall the cover of the movie, the poster with her hair and in the lower corner. Yeah.
There isn't enough money for Tree of Life again.
Well, I own it, so.
Thanks to the B&N sale. Oh, Barnes and Noble. That took me so long to figure out. I ordered the Essential Fellini set, half off.
I have that. That's sitting on our coffee table. Which films to begin with? I would say like begin with the early stuff. But it's funny watching early Fellini because how crazy he eventually, his cinema kind of gets. Like if you go from like The White Shake to 8.5. But I don't know. I would go through chronologically because that's just how if I have the ability to do so, that's how I do it. But you could just close your eyes and pull a disc out and you won't be disappointed.
Look who's back on live. Two of my faves. Oh. Have you guys reviewed Fly Me to the Moon?
No, we see that on the 8th, I believe, with ScarJo and Channing Tatum.
Started Eden Lake. Not a horror fan and couldn't finish. I must be a wuss. What's Eden Lake?
You've seen it.
Oh.
That's like 08. I haven't seen it since it came out. I remember thinking it was okay.
I'll pay you good money to get you guys to rewatch Tree of Life. It's my favorite film of all time. Well, money does talk, I guess.
You like Brad Pitt, right?
Brad Pitt's in it? How long did I stay in the theater?
You stayed until the creation of the universe montage, and then you left.
I'd never be able to guess a movie by a 3-word description. I'd be horrible with charades. Oh, are you referring to our Rubber Duckies Best Motion Picture?
Oh, yeah.
I posted that today. Good 4th of July movies. I mean, Independence Day are born on the 4th of July, but aren't really about the holiday stuff.
4th of July, Independence Day is hard. You've never seen Born on the 4th of July. I think I made you watch a clip of it recently with Tom Cruise in the wheelchair.
I don't know why. I think Tom Cruise is my secret favorite actor.
Oh.
I say Willem Dafoe, which I do like him a lot.
I do too.
But because you can't support Tom Cruise because everyone.
You can support. I mean, everybody's crazy. So
Tom Cruise is my favorite actor. Really. But
wow, more than Nick Cage?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because any movie Tom Cruise is in, especially like early 90s and on, it's like he's such a huge, like all these movies are crafted for him. So any movie with Tom Cruise is an example of like when a movie is made for someone. And then you see this person like the best light. Because I rewatched The Last Samurai.
Ugh.
And he's really good in it. I really liked him.
I distinctly recall
his hair looks great. I don't know. I just really like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, he's pretty in it. But that scene at the end where he's like, "I'll tell you how he lived." Like, I think
he just feels like a movie star to me in a way that no one else does. Because his personal life, and he's so like the mystique of it all and the weirdness of it all. And
sure, you need to see Magnolia.
I haven't seen all of his movies. I've seen many of them.
Because yeah.
So I probably should start selecting more Tom Cruise movies for.
I mean, the early 90s, I love The Firm. I mean, there's some classics. You can't get around that. But there are also some that are not defensible.
Do you guys like Mind F movies? Oh,
yes.
No. Do you like the Mind F movie called Triangle with Melissa George?
Yeah, that's a Christopher Smith film from like 2009. Yeah, I remember quite liking that. Christopher Smith used to be somebody I was really interested in, but I think after Black Death, things started, I don't know, becoming a little less enticing. I can't remember the last film of his I really liked, but if you think back to like Severance, and not the series, the movie, but.
Are you going on vacation soon? If so, where? So our home's gonna be burglarized or what? I feel like that's a setup. You're going to Switzerland?
I'll be in Locarno and then
Venice
shortly after. Yeah.
I'm going to DC soon.
Mm-hmm.
We're going places, doing things.
Mm-hmm.
Where does Scream fall in the Wes Craven rankings?
I think the first one to me is the best, but I'm not a huge fan of that franchise. I don't know.
Have you seen the trailer for the A24 film Heretic starring Hugh Grant? I have not.
Heretic?
Or what did I say? Heretic?
Hugh Grant. Yeah, I know.
I said heretic, but it's heretic.
That's what I thought.
Oh.
But maybe I'm wrong. I haven't watched the trailer. I usually don't watch trailers unless it's.
I did see the trailer for that new Brandy film, that A24 Brandy film. I'm excited for that.
Yes, and I got a nice pitch for an article out of that. But
oh, you are going to write an article about that?
Well, about horror hag movies, but yeah.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Because Catherine Hunter looks like a hoot in that movie.
The faucet gives Nick a dangling earring.
Is that still?
You need to go over. Oh. You'd have to.
Oh, right.
Oh, the other way.
It's very Mr. Clean.
Go this way, and then turn. Yeah, like that.
It's very Mr. Clean. Yeah.
The New World was a tough watch for me. What's The New World?
Terrence Malick.
Oh. I'm near Duluth in Superior.
Oh.
We don't have a theater in Superior,
Wisconsin.
anymore.
Superior, Wisconsin was my first gay bar, and I was very underage.
The first time I went to Duluth, I went to that gay bar that's on the
JT's?
border. Yes.
Oh. Yep.
I was definitely, I did not fit in that bar. But I don't have a bad memory. I just recall being like, this probably isn't the place I should be right now. Have you ever watched a movie that you hate so much it made you mad?
Asteroid City. I hate that movie.
I mean, I'll say I hate this as I'm watching it. There are a lot of movies that...
There are a lot of bad movies. I think that what makes me...
What
I'd experience as an emotion called hate would be like, you have all the resources available to your fingertips, and this is the shit that you're deciding to do over and over again at that, which is why that movie comes to mind. But I've clearly seen a lot worse films than Asteroid City, but I don't know. Yeah, that there are some things where you get angry. Actually, I just watched a movie that I found very hard to sit through with Nicolas Cage called Zandali.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was...
Like, trigger warning, we gave it 0.5 out of 5, like it's the worst. But, they're horrible movies that are like as I'm watching them, I'm thinking of all the things I want to say about it. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you watch movies and it's just like, this had no purpose. It's not fun to talk about. I can't remember. I can't think of an example. Have I seen Dogtooth?
Yeah, well, I had a movie night for it. I paired that with Picnic at Hanging Rock. Yeah, I think you have.
Fellini made me fall in love with Mastroianni.
Marcello Mastroianni. There's a nice movie about Marcello Mastroianni where his daughter Chiara is playing him that I saw at Cannes this year called Marcello Mio, Catherine Deneuve.
Have you seen the preview for that new Mark Wahlberg movie where they reveal the entire movie in the trailer? No, but now I want to.
No, and that has a really notable director too. Like, I was surprised to see that he was working with Wahlberg. Because I get emails about every time these trailers drop. But yeah, I haven't watched it.
I'm close to Burnsville, Minnesota.
I remember Burnsville.
I remember Burnsville too. I had a friend who his parents lived out there, so we would go, like a group of us would go, because his parents had this huge basement that they made into like a party room, and then they had a pool and a jacuzzi. So we would all go and like get drunk in the basement. But then he called me Aunt Jemima one day and we stopped being friends.
Oh, that guy? Yeah. Sounds about white. Yeah. I remember burning out a head gasket in my Mazda 626 on the way to Burnsville one day.
I love Nick's side eye on the Tom Cruise appreciation. Oh.
I mean, he's going to like what he likes. Don't want to cause a condition.
Is there a film you think warrants or deserves a remake today?
I'm sure. I'd have to think. Like that's the kind of question where like, let me do a deep dive on something obscure.
Thank you, BMCK. Have we been watching the TV version of Interview with a Vampire? We watched the first 7 episodes of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
But when that girl came,
Claudia,
I'm like, I can probably chill on this for a while. But then we keep getting messages that we should watch.
I think she was recast.
She was bad.
That's really bad.
So that's why I stopped watching. But I really liked, is it Lestat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The white one.
Yeah, he was creepy.
Yes. And Eric Bogosian.
Hi, Shirley.
Shirley's here.
If you want to see how many films Nick has watched, you can get an idea on his Letterboxd.
But that's only since May of 2008 when I started tracking them. So anything I watched before that, I don't rate unless I rewatch it now.
Does Nick always select 2 movies for movie night?
I used to until somebody said that they got anxiety and it bothered them. So no, I don't have double features anymore. I used to have a big thing.
Forcing, like, because then you feel forced to like sit through all that. Like,
you don't have to accept the invitation. Like the people that have come. Like this is the agenda. This is what's happening. You can leave at intermission. You can leave it anytime you want.
Yeah, but I live there, so
it's not Hotel California.
Yeah, but I live there, so I can't.
This fool would go up and go to bed sometimes. I would make themed food, and usually I'd construct a game with prizes that was related as well.
Have we thought about doing a watch with us type of thing on our Patreon where we all would log in and watch together? People have asked that many times, but I don't understand what that is. Like, so we watch a movie.
Like, how did this get made
on our TV, but then you're watching us watch the TV?
Like Mystery Science Theater?
I don't understand how that would look. Or is the movie playing on the screen and it's just our voices over it? I don't understand how that would work. And I don't like talking over a movie. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know.
You know what I'd rather do is say like, let's all watch a movie and then we'll do a live and talk about the movie. So not do like a review.
Like a book club.
Like book club. Yeah, mm-hmm. I would prefer that, but like that's a long time to just be watched.
Sure.
Because I feel like I wouldn't be comfortable because I'm trying to pay attention. And then who knows if I'm digging in my nose or making a weird face or... but I don't understand how that would work. Yeah, he would have themed food and prizes. Okay. Oh, Amazon has... Oh, you know what? I saw that they have Watch Together. And so does Netflix. But I don't know what that is. So I need to research. So are we all watching on our own device and then like just commenting like via text?
Like Jackbox? Oh, you can't comment on there.
Well, yeah, I don't understand what that is. I don't understand what a watch party is.
Well, that feels like...
Because if I'm watching a movie, I don't want to talk over the movie. And I don't want to have to type while I'm watching a movie. Because even when we're with a group of people and we're watching a movie, I get a little annoyed after a while that everyone's trying to be a comedian. Mm-hmm. Like I can't pay it. Like I don't know what happened in the movie. We need to be quiet so we can talk about it after. That's why I write notes down, because I think of things I want to say, and then
yeah,
and then I have my outlet. But a book club type thing, yeah, that would be fun to me. Oh, so yeah, so it would be like we're all watching it together, but then people are commenting. I would give it a try. I mean, I'm saying I wouldn't like it, but maybe it would be cute. It just, well, you know what I want? I want to hear other people talk. That's what I would like. I think it'd be funny to hear all of you people saying things to us. I don't want to talk anymore.
And he's tired of me, so.
So yeah. Okay. Well, I probably should eat. We'll do another live.
That's a segue. Okay.
All right now. So where y'all going after this? What y'all doing after this?
Yeah, the substance with Demi Moore is a lot like there are some society references in there. I would concur with that observation.
All right. Well, we'll plan another live soon. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
No.
All right. Ta-ta.